It is nice, wet, and rainy out. What we're going to do today is a bit more sampling. Surprise, surprise. So we've been working this property for about 2 weeks now. And what we're planning on doing is a massive sampling program, about 300 samples. And right now, we are halfway through, so this is an area we wanted to search in this newly planted forest. We found this exposed outcrop here, volcanic tuff, and you can see the oxidization. We're going to look for any mineralization today here and see if we can find any samples that are worthy of an analysis. Then we'll move on, see what else we can find today. Maybe we can find a showing or anything with potential. So let's dive right into the sampling. Alright, so I can see some mineralized samples already all over the ground, which is a good sign. We'll collect any grab samples after. We just want to hammer some chunks off this exposed piece of bedrock. So there's definitely disseminated mineral in there, for sure. There's actually quite a few samples just laying around. So you can see what I mean. A little bit of mineralization in there. Some chalcopyrite in there. So those of you who watched the last video that we posted, we took 19 samples off a 100-meter wide exposed zone. This zone of small amounts of mineral here is following that exact one. Alright, so I think we have enough samples from here hammered off. We'll break them apart a bit more and show you guys any good ones we found. Closer examination of your rock shows you have gabbro, which is cutting through a very, very chloritized schist. So your gabbro's on the outside here, and you have schists running through here. You also have schists behind here. dug a little test hole over there. Same kind of rock. So here's some of the samples we pulled off. There's loads of quartz float samples around here, but pretty much all of them are virtually barren, other than the occasional speck of chalcopyrite. Nothing economical. So here are some of the samples we pulled from your schistose body here. And we have looked at these under the jeweler's loupe, and yes, there is small amounts of free milling gold. So this is primarily iron pyrite here, with the occasional little bleb like that of chalcopyrite. But there's definitely free mill gold. I'll show you a piece that shows it a bit better. Right in here. Super, super fine. We'll see if we can get a closer view. Right there. Again, more chalcopyrite and iron pyrite. It's mainly disseminated. A little epidotization in there. Minor amounts. More quartz here with iron oxides. Minor amounts of mineralization. You have a giant outcrop here that is covered with oxidization. Only weakly mineralized, very weakly. Not seeing too much of anything in the way of decent potential. That is a vein of some sort. That is extremely oxidized. Feels fairly heavy. Wonder what that is. Some kind of oxide. I think we'll take a sample and send that in. Looks like the vein continues all along up here, possibly back in here, and that's what we see on the face of those pieces of rock over there. Really not too sure what this is. It's got to be an oxide of some sort. Alright, so we'll take this for our sample. from this vein. Okay, so again, we have more of that veining all along up here. You can see the weird nodules. It's definitely an oxide. Take a look down here. So there's definitely magnetite in here. Again, it's very dense. Some of the other rocks here almost look like a rhyolitic tuff. Again, you got chloritized schists. Looks like you got some granitic schist here. Interesting suite of rocks. Some gneiss. Well, there's definitely quartz in this. Extremely heavy. Anyway, we'll take another quick sample here, catalog it. So that's breccia right here. So it's like a brecciated vein, oxidized quartz. You got some magnetite in there. Some schists. Very, very interesting. That's definitely breccia there. So we'll take a nice big sample, a bunch of these. All right, so just past that area, we got quartz veining, and we have sulfides in quartz. So I'm going to try and get a sample up there. The rock's kind of slippery and facing the wrong way. So we got the mineral there. Heading up here to get a sample. Found another mineralized area. Quartz vein, magnetite, iron pyrite, and some sulfides in there. So we'll pull another sample from here, and then we'll get a sample from that other quartz vein. So there's definitely magnetite on there with pyrite. Oh yeah, we got lots of magnetite there. Lots of pyrite, chalcopyrite, and a ganj of quartz. Very nice looking sample. So this is just pure magnetite with quartz. So you got just massive pods of iron sulfides with magnetite and schists. Okay, more sulfides and magnetite. So we'll take some of these samples back down after we're finished looking at that other showing, and we'll see if any of them are decent enough to send in. So up above, you got lots of quartz here with a little bit of magnetite and hematite. Some nice samples in here, so I might take one of these as well as a grab sample. The other sample is going to be a little bit difficult to get to with filming, so I won't film it because I'll probably fall off this outcrop. Not with my prospecting partner today, so got to be safe. You definitely have massive sulfides right in there and all along in here. And then this is a giant piece of oxidized quartz, and down here you have the pyrite mineralization. So we pulled off 9 samples from the outcrop, 3 different showings and a couple of grab samples. First sample here, you got quartzite, quartz, minor amounts of chalcopyrite, nothing intense. Sulfide veining, stringer sulfide vein throughout, chloritic schist, finding loads of these in the host rock. Here you got more mineralization, quartz in there as your gang material. Host rock would be chloritic schist. This is probably one of the most promising samples. You have massive magnetite, small amounts of iron pyrite and chalcopyrite. Again, sulfide mineralization. It's pretty wet out, so some of these samples are difficult to see anything. Here you got your magnetite, hematite. A couple more samples here. So it seems that you have mineralization in pods, and you have massive sulfides, pyrite, chalcopyrite, as well as massive pods of magnetite. And this is the last sample. So most of the mineralization is running with quartz, and then the stringers are found disseminated in your schist. Anyway, that's all the time we have for today. What we're going to be doing is sending in a few of these right now. That initial one, that weird mystery vein, we're going to send that in. We're going to send in the very first exposure with free mill gold. We're going to send in this massive magnetite, chalcopyrite, pyrite mix. And it's getting late, so hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's time to get out of the rain, so we'll see you guys next time. Take care.